Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again and welcome to episode number 4 of the Chelsea career mode on FIFA 15. As you can see, we're sending out a couple of the youngsters on loan. Obviously, we're still getting bids for Thibaut Courtois though, unfortunately, but he's most definitely still getting those offers rejected, even though that is a big offer from Barcelona of £34.5 million. Like we said, a couple of youngsters going out on loan. If you missed yesterday's episode, then there is a link as an annotation in the bottom left-hand side of your screen to take you to it. And of course, if you enjoy this one, then feel free to hit that like button. If we could get over 400 again, that would be absolutely superb. But today we're starting with the Barclays Premier League football at last. We're out of pre-season into the season proper, and we started with an extremely strong side away from home at Turf Moor. Actually, at Turf Moor, which of course now is in the game. All 20 Barclays Premier League stadiums are in FIFA 15, as well as fully licensed referees and all of the GFX as well. And I'm going to stop commentating in just a second so that you can hear the actual Martin Tyler, Anna Smith commentary over the team lineups.
Tom Heaton starts in goal. Michael Kitely starts making his debut. In attack, Danny Ings joins up top with Sam Vokes. Here's the Chelsea lineup. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Gary Cahill starts with John Terry as the centre-backs. Oscar plays with Fabregas in midfield. In attack, Diego Costa starts, making his debut for the club.
Wonderful atmosphere, carnival.
I absolutely love those additions to career mode. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, Diego Costa is making his debut in this game. Didier Drogba scored a hat-trick in the final Barclays Premier League game, but I just had to start Diego, and this is why. 14 minutes into the game, he gives us a 1-0 lead away from home. I'll show you as many replays as possible over the next 3 or 4 episodes, because you guys have specifically asked to see some more replays. Obviously, with it being next-gen and the graphics being so significantly improved, etc., you'd like to see as many as possible. Watch this shot. It actually goes through the defender's legs. He dives over the top of the ball. Wasn't actually that far into the corner, just dipped in time to come down under the bar. Tom Heaton, no chance, and Chelsea take a 1-0 lead. And this was a game of few chances. Wonderful reaction save from Thibaut Courtois there, although, of course, as you can see, Danny Ings was, in fact, offside. And they've taken away the drawn lines across the pitch that you get from these offside replays, etc., which I think is a good move. It makes it more realistic, etc. You have to just use your, do it with a naked eye and see if the man is onside or offside. Makes it a little bit more realistic, and in my opinion, it's a good addition to the game. But Eden Hazard's going to have another shot here, well blocked by the defender, and the first half was actually quite, not necessarily end-to-end, but it was more all in the midfield. There weren't that many chances, and like I've said previously in the opening few games to this series, I am actually struggling to, well, not necessarily struggling, but I'm not finding it as comfortable with Chelsea on World Class as I was on FIFA 14. It's a much harder engine to be to be dominant in possession and in chance creation as well. And actually, I'm still learning my way around the new engine, etc. for FIFA 15. But we're doing okay in this first Barclays Premier League game. As you can see, Diego Costa is the only goal scorer so far with that 1-goal lead at half-time away from home. Turf Moor actually looks really, really good in the sunshine. Of course, this game in real life was played on a Monday night. It was moved for TV purposes, but Diego Costa is going to get played through here. Great first touch, take it away from the defender, and just as good a finish on the end of it as well. We'll show you a couple of replays of that as well. Of course, you guys, like I say, requested to see some replays, and I had to make sure my first touch was away from the defender. It was a little bit too sharp, I think, in actual fairness, but the quality of the striker was enough to make sure that the ball went into the back of the net. So we made a change, took off Cesc Fabregas for Willian, in fact, and moved Eden Hazard from the wide right role into that central cam role in this 4-3-3 formation with 2 CDMs, 1 cam, and then I dropped Oscar from the cam role into the CDM role to sit alongside Nemanja Matic, and then Hazard in the central role and Willian out there on the right hand side. But we into the last few minutes, as you saw, Thibaut Courtois made a good save down low to his right hand side to keep that out. A really strong arm, strong wrist to make sure that not only did he keep it out of goal, but he also stopped it from going for a corner as well, and the defence was able to gather it up. And actually, we came straight back up the other end. Diego Costa on a hat trick draws a great save out of Tom Heaton, and actually the goalkeepers are performing quite well so far in this career mode. We haven't had too many issues with them. They're being quite buggy. Of course, there is a day one patch coming for career mode. Although, hit the bar here with Willian, and watch Tom Heaton here. ignores the ball and then just kind of trots back towards the goal as the ball goes over the line into the back of the net, and then as it crosses the line he kind of goes, oh no, I've conceded. Hopefully that sort of thing will be fixed in this day one patch update. You'll see this on Friday, so hopefully the day one update has already happened. I'm recording this on Thursday night prior to that, but watch Heaton, look, he just ducks under it and then just walks towards the goal. He could possibly have even kept that out, but regardless, he did what he did, and that cost them their third goal. We take a 3-0 win from the opening game of the season away at Burnley, quite similar to the way that Chelsea dispatched Burnley in real life, although it was of course 3-1 after Scotty Arfield gave them a great 1-0 lead early on in that game. But again, moving on, a couple of youngsters. Andreas Christensen is on the way out in the next week on the lead up to the next game, which of course is at home at Stamford Bridge. I've made a couple of changes. Willian starts with Hazard dropping into that central role, and William Carvalho is in for Nemanja Matic, and I've actually swapped Dave, or Azpilicueta, and I will actually probably refer to him as Dave for the majority of the series, so just be aware of that. I've moved Azpi from left back to right back and put Felipe Luis in at left back as well to give him his first full team debut. Again, I'll give you the commentary in the background over the starting lineups with Martin Tyler. You'll have to let me know whether you'd like to see that in every episode or whether, you know, it's just a one-off for now.
Chelsea lineup. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Felipe Luis starts with Azpilicueta as the fullbacks. Willian plays with Andres Schürrle out wide. In attack, Diego Costa starts. He was man of the match last time out. Three changes for Leicester City. Kasper Schmeichel starts in goal. Danny Simpson starts with Paul Konchesky as the fullbacks. Matty James comes in for Danny Drinkwater, who's disappointed recently. In attack, David Nugent starts. He was man of the match last time out.
Like I say, let me know in the comments section down below if you'd like to have that sort of thing added in each and every episode. I think I should be okay for copyright reasons, leaving the game audio in like that so loud. Shouldn't have any sort of problems there, but as you can see, I actually was in control of Gary Cahill from that corner, and unfortunately the CPU took control of Willian and made him jump in front of me, and I potentially could have gotten on the end of that with Gary Cahill and had a proper goal scoring opportunity, but the CPU denied me that opportunity. But we are going to have some more. Of course, Leicester, another one of the promoted sides, quite not necessarily an easy start to the season, but less difficult start to the season for Chelsea in real life. Brushed aside Leicester and Burnley quite comfortably, although in real life Leicester actually put up a very, very good fight for the majority of the game. But Eden Hazard gets played in beautifully over the top here. Pushing on from that camera, Willian played him in, and tidy finish from the young Belgian. The ball from Willian was perfectly timed. You'll be able to see from the replay, I've turned into Jonathan Ross. You'll be able to see from the replay the defender steps, and Hazard his run is timed to perfection, the ball is timed to perfection, and it's a wonderful team goal outside of the right foot shot across Kasper Schmeichel into the bottom corner, and we take a 1-0 lead. And similar to the Burnley game, it was a slower first half than the second, and I was struggling to create a lot of chances, but the pace that we have in this side helps. And as you can see, the cross was deflected, stood up for Diego Costa, trying to get on the score sheet for the second game in a row. Unfortunately, though, couldn't quite generate as much power behind the header as he needed to get it into the back of the net, and we stayed at 1-0. But Leicester are going to have a good start to the second. Matty James here playing a nice little 1-2 on the edge of the box, and that is a beautiful finish into the far top corner. Courtois, glued to the spot, just watched it fly into the far side netting. And from the replays, you'll watch, not only is that a wonderful 1-2, completely schools me with Gary Cahill, but watch as William Carvalho comes across. The third replay actually shows it a little bit better. He almost tries to take the ball away, rather than just there, that swoop with his left leg, rather than actually trying to put a tackle in, he just tries to take the first touch and swoop the ball away. It was the wrong thing to do. I had pressed B, but I think that was just the general motion of William Carvalho. Maybe it's a sign of his inexperience, I'm not sure. Maybe someone like Nemanja Matic would have made a proper tackle there. We'll have to wait and see as the season progresses. Like I say, still getting used to this new engine, etc. But unfortunately for us, it's a mistake, and Leicester get themselves back in it. So I brought Didier Drogba on for Diego Costa. Obviously, like we said, scored a hat-trick in yesterday's episode, but what a header and what a save from Kasper Schmeichel. Wonderful reactions to dive backwards and tip it over the top of the bar. They made a change. David Nugent going off for Jamie Vardy. Of course, got in form this week in Ultimate Team. Another good header, and again Kasper Schmeichel gets just enough on it to tip it around the post. I thought that was going to drop inside the post into the back of the net, similar to how we had a goal scored for us in one of the demo games, I think it was, where Simon Mignolet couldn't quite tip it over the top. But another reaction save from Kasper Schmeichel. That shot was deflected, and he gets it over the top of the bar again, and he did that in real life. He's quite realistic, you have to say. Kasper Schmeichel, as you can see there, it says 6 shots saved, and he did save quite a few shots in real life from this Chelsea game against Leicester, and unfortunately for that for us this time. That shot wasn't quite on target. Siska taken all the corners. I put Hazard on it, and lo and behold, Fabregas turns up with the header at the end of the corner as well. So Fabregas is just at the heart of absolutely everything that goes on. Didier Drogba, though, nice turn inside with a step over, has the shot. We beat the goalkeeper again, but this time it's the woodwork that keeps us out. We're still at 1-1, and unfortunately, that is how the game was going to end. Leicester have a smash and grab away from home at Stamford Bridge. Kasper Schmeichel very much so earns his wages this week, and we couldn't find a way past him. You'll see from the stats that are going to pop up on your screen any second now. As you can see, smash and grab is no lie. One shot, one goal for Leicester City. They get a point after our 12 shots, 8 on target. Wonderful saves from the Danish goalkeeper, keep us out, and unfortunately we only take 4 points from our opening 2 games. Again, moving on, a youngster, Ola Aina, is going out on loan, and again turning down a move from a European side for one of our better players. Nemanja Matic is most definitely not going to Atletico Madrid. And of course, it's transfer deadline day now. The biggest deals done so far, as you can see on the right hand side, Wayne Rooney from Madrid, or to Madrid rather, from Manchester United for £44.5 million. Massive deal. Similar with Luka Modric as well. A huge deal, £42.5 million from Real Madrid to Manchester City. Unfortunately, though, nothing happened for us. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll let you decide. But in the background, you'll see I'm actually just going to scroll through all of the Premier League teams in this final hour, so you can see who did what in the transfer window. If you want to pause it at any point so that you can see what went down in the transfer window, then feel free to do so. In Monday's episode, I'll still only have 2 games because I'll do a squad report as well. And then after Monday, we'll be back up, because we're now out of a transfer window, back up to 3 games per episode. So you guys will have the longer-ish videos, although they'll probably be about the same length as this, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. I guess it depends on how many chances and goals and highlights there are to show you. But there was a lot of money spent on deadline day, as you can see, £70 million all told. The biggest transfer outside of us was actually Mario Gomez going to Tottenham for £20 million. Other than that, Wayne Rooney deal and Luka Modric deal, of course. And you'll be able to see now the Premier League table after 3 games for everyone else. 4, in fact, for Liverpool and Villa. Liverpool losing 3 of their opening games. Real surprise there. Ourselves and Everton have only played 2, and I think Everton are our next game, although actually it might be Swansea, and in fact the very next game is a game in the Capital One Cup against Wigan. So we'll play some rotation plays in that, perhaps give some of the youngsters a chance, like Kurt Zuma, Nathan Ake, etc. So we'll have to see what I actually do for that. Haven't recorded it yet, obviously, but that's all for this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days. There'll be links in the bottom left hand side to the previous episode in this series, links in the description to my Twitter, to my Instagram, to my Facebook, and to subscribe as well if you haven't done that already. And of course, there was a My Player episode went up last night as well, as per the schedule, which is in the description and on the About tab of the channel page. So if you don't know what and when I upload, that is most definitely your port of call, and you'll be able to see that I upload 2 videos every single day, and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. So we'll have an Ultimate Team video tonight, probably a pack opening, and then tomorrow afternoon we'll have My Player, up to 2 games an episode in that. Of course, it's recorded live, so those videos will continue to be about this length as well. Hopefully you're enjoying all of the content on the channel so far. We hit 20k yesterday, so thank you so much for that. I may do a special video for it, I may not. We've grown so fast, I haven't been able to keep up. We've actually grown over 1,000 subs in the opening 48 hours alone. I'm recording this on Thursday, so if you see this Friday, we may even have grown even more. We're going at like 300 to 500 new people every single day. So if you are one of those new people, thank you so much for coming along and subscribing. If you're one of my older subscribers, then of course thank you for your continued support. And that is all for this afternoon. Ultimate Team pack opening for you tonight, My Player tomorrow, but for now I'll see you next time.